did not come to play, I came to dominate. 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 I did not come to play, I came to dominate. 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 I did not come to play, I came to dominate. 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 I did not come to play, I came to dominate. 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 Dominate.
What's up, Rebels? Welcome to some live prospecting with some of the members, some of the leaders, and some of the absolute weirdos of the Sales Rebellion, me being the weirdo. Although I heard Jack Wilson's here today, so maybe he'll rival me on that. You never know. Grateful to have all you with us. For those of you that have not joined one of these before, here's the setup. Super simple, super fun. We've got a bunch of students and coaches on a Zoom right now doing cold calls. They're following up on letter campaigns. They're following up on interrupt marketing drops that have been sent, audacious emails that have been pushed through the firewalls, and completely cold prospects as well, too. There's a couple different strategies that the students are working with, a couple different strategies that the coaches are working with. We're just having fun. That's what we do. That's how we do. So the coaches are in breakout rooms right now with the students, coaching live on their calls. And as a student or a coach gets somebody on the phone, they will jump into the StreamYard. When they jump into the StreamYard, I'll unmute them and we'll listen in on their call and either laugh or think, wow, I wish I was that good. You know, it doesn't really matter which one it is, but it'll be one of those. So it's going to be fun. We're having fun. So in the meantime, because I have nothing else to really do while they're all making calls and I'm waiting for them to come in here, I'll be teaching everybody that's on this call. You get a little bit of free teaching from the Sales Rebellion in the process. So to really help you understand what the principle is behind the cold calls that are being made is that we are running with what we like to call radical education. There's a lot of really great examples of this inside of the Rebellion of how people are using this concept in order to be extremely successful as sales rebels. But what we have titled the touch pieces as we call them, first touch pieces, are, here we go. Oh man, Rebel X is totally not in the StreamYard, but he's in the Zoom. And he's, look at him, he's like, oh no, I screwed up. Wait, here he comes, maybe. So nobody can hear you. It's just basically just you like sitting there thinking to yourself at this point. This is a pattern interrupt if I ever saw one, for sure, without a doubt. A massive pattern interrupt. Matter of fact, while we're waiting for you, let's watch this video.
I've been trying out all of your techniques, so they've been doing very, very well. Like, I'm really impressed, Dale. I don't know if that's a good thing for you to hear, but like, it's been very, very successful in a very short amount of time. These are like sometimes leads that are horrible. I told you this already, but like I told one of my other BDRs, I was like, yeah, this is the line I'm going to use. And they're like, you're crazy. Like, this is never going to work. And like, I haven't heard anybody say no to me this past week.
And if you thought that Rebel X was in the StreamYard at this point, you're wrong. And so I'm just going to keep rolling here, folks, since nobody can hear him. Oh, he's here. He's here. You can talk now, too. People can hear you. What's up, Jack? No, well, apparently you're still muted to some degree. So because I can't hear you, actually. Let's see. Unmute. How are you? Are you muted still? Yeah, no hearing. Oh, well, I mean, that's cool. Like, that doesn't really matter too much.
So I know you can hear me, but I don't know if anybody else can hear me.
No, everybody can hear you. Yeah.
Good. Thank God.
Yeah. Tell everybody what's up.
Well, what's up is I just got to listen to a pretty cool voicemail from one of the students. I don't want to like call him out, but like if I did say his name out loud, he would know who I was talking about because I would say his name out loud and then he'd feel pressured. And then anyways, listen, he left a voicemail. What I heard is what I hear a lot of salespeople do, right? He left a voicemail. He was positive, he was personal, but that like at the very end, the most important part, he sort of like trailed off and said, well, you know, I hope we can have a conversation. And then, give me a call maybe, right? So the part he emphasized was his hopes. So like for salespeople out there, I want you to think about what your prospect thinks when they hear that. Like, hey, I hope we can start a conversation. Well, of course you do. You're calling me to sell me something. I don't care about what you hope. What about what I hope? And what am I supposed to do with this new information? So the coaching there was to take that portion that was delivered so strongly and turn it into a call to action that deliberately tells your prospect what to do. And it doesn't have to be call me back, because we know responses are like single digits if you're not great and you're not sending crumpled letters. But it could be, hey, take a look at that crumpled letter that I mailed to you. And if it's something that does invoke your attention or something that you think is interesting, give me a call back so we can chat about it, or shoot me an email so we can open up a dialogue. So make that call to action a little more specific instead of just your hopes and dreams.
Nice.
That's it.
Good. It's good. 5 cents. That was like 5 cents, right? 6 cents.
Are you making fun of me? You're making fun of me, aren't you? All right.
You're from Boston. I don't know how you guys count.
We wicked hot. We count wicked hot. All right.
That's what I thought. Thanks for sharing that, Jack. We appreciate
Absolutely,
it very
man.
much. So as we wait for another awesome student to show up in here at some point, in the meantime, we're going to continue the teaching on radical education. So, and let's talk about voicemail for a second. If anybody has ever called my voicemail, then they have probably been extremely surprised. When you call my voicemail, it takes you on a journey, on an adventure through an experience. I usually change my voicemail once a year as well too. So, where a lot of us kind of set it and forget it, I like my voicemail to be extremely interactive for people. It's a big piece of the puzzle for me that makes things in general just more appealing for the people that are calling my phone. Especially, this is my favorite part about having the voicemail that I have, is that it turns a lot of people completely away as well too, because they're like, this dude is insane, and I don't want to get caught up in his insanity. So they peace out, which is totally fine, because this is all about tribe building. We can't expect every single person that we leave a voicemail for, that's leaving us a voicemail, to be part of our tribe, right? So I like experiences in voicemails. I've heard some of the best voicemails inside of the rebellion, without a doubt. I've heard a lot of the pundits and the gurus talk about do this, do that. But when you hear and experience a rep actually doing something that works for them, it's freaking incredible all the way through and through. It's one of the best things you've ever seen, without a doubt. And my favorite is when they leave a voicemail where they literally give an experience to the prospect, where they spell out the scene, they tell a story. Back in 3rd grade, and they walk you into something a little bit different than what it is that you're typically used to, interrupting the normal patterns. That's what it's all about. Radical education. So if you're out there leaving voicemails, you should be leaving them to create and cause a sense of wonder for the people that are listening to them, because a voicemail is so 1990s, as I like to say. And what is good about a voicemail is the fact of the matter that it can still get attention. If you're not saying, hey, this is Dale Dupree with the Sales Rebellion, the #1 sales training company in the world, calling to 10x or 11x even your sales department, right? If we steer away from that piece of the puzzle, now we take ourselves into a whole new world. Ooh, Aaron's coming in here. Let's make this real weird. Here we go. Let's make this real weird, guys. Oh, wait. Maybe he bailed. I think he might have bailed, guys. No, here he is. There he is. It's okay, because none of y'all can hear Aaron right now, because he's not in the StreamYard. Here you go, Aaron. There's a StreamYard link for you, bro. You can pop it there. You're live with all the rebels of the world right now. They can't hear you though. That's the only problem. Jump back to your room and get on the StreamYard, so I can pop you on here every once in a while. So radical education. I see Chris is in the house now. We got the Keymaster in the house. See the Rebel Lights hanging out. We got some bad people making dials right now. Bad people making dials. Any minute now, someone's going to be popping into this room. This is probably one of my favorite things to do, is to prospect. You guys know the stories of the Copier Warrior. I used to walk around with these business cards, hand them out to individuals, and instead of saying, hey, can I speak to the person in charge of the copy machine, I was giving experiences, which, going back to the whole voicemail concept, that's what it's all about. Jack gave some excellent advice just now on CTAs. Make them work for you. Jack, Jack, oh, what's going on? He's out of the StreamYard. He's in and out of the Zoom. He can't make up his mind, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about radical education. When we talk about radical education, the way that we look at it inside of the rebellion is as a first touch piece. So what you want to think about is you want to think about the letter campaign, for example. This is the letter traveled around the world. This goes to the busiest person in the office, right? The buyer. It's traveled all over the place trying to find them. It's a sequence cadence as well too. But radical education are things such as that make somebody stop in their tracks and forget about everything that's going on in their busy day to say, like, this is a very unique experience. Same thing goes for your cold calls. I'll tell every single one of you right now that if you just change a little bit of your cold calling introduction, that you'll get people to listen a lot more frequently instead of just hanging up on you. That saying, hi, how are you can work. Saying, hey, Susan, my name's Dale Dupree. Is now a good time can work, but it's not necessarily what people desire. Here we go. We got Braden in the house. Let's listen in. Tell us about it, bro. I think you might be. Oh, I know what's going on here, bro. Here we go. Yeah. You weren't in the stream, but you're in the stream now. You're good to go. You're telling us about the call. So let me catch everybody up. Braden just got a call. He's been trying to call this guy for, did you say 100 years? I don't think you're that old.
Basically 100 years. Nah, I'd probably give him 100 calls.
Cool. Tell us the story.
He answered on the first ring. I was a little surprised, so that's why I didn't jump into the StreamYard. But he loved the letter. He's like, I've been meaning to reach out to you because I wanted to give you props. Clever marketing. He's like, I read the letter. I don't have any need for the services right now, but yeah, definitely keep you guys in mind. So we talked a little bit, just try to build some rapport, and then we have a tentative lunch scheduled for a month from now. We're going to get together in person and get to know each other.
Whoa. I don't know what just happened, but the sound just went nuts for a second. Let's try that again. Oh, yeah. There's something going on with your sound, bro. You might have something turned up or something turned down. But the gist of what I just heard from Braden was that he's had a guy who's been trying to get a hold of him for quite some time, used the letter campaign, put it in the mail. By the way, Braden is not delivering these letters by hand. He is mailing these letters to his prospects in their brick and mortar. And two things are happening for all the people out there that are like, what's going on? Two things are happening. Number one is that people are either digitizing the mail or they're forwarding it to the home address of the person that might be working remotely. So no matter what, if you're still sending mail, it's very, very, very effective still. So we have to remember those pieces of the puzzle first and foremost, right? Secondly, he's got a person that he hasn't been able to get a hold of because he's just been dialing them and trying to drop the pitch, right? But he sends them a crumpled letter. Person loves the marketing technique, takes the call, tells them, hey, I'm not in the market right now, this minute, in this moment, but this got my attention and I'm very interested. So getting to that place with people is sometimes much better than just the approach again of dialing and dialing without a result. It's the definition of insanity. Braden now has a result. He's on his way back from that perspective. I'm going to try to unmute you again real quick. Let's see what's going on. There's something weird going on, dude. It sounds like a million people are inside of your freaking headset right now. Let's try it like this. Here. Let's try this. Let's see if yeah, I don't know what's going on. You're going to have to jump back into your breakout room, bro. Thanks for getting into here, though. If you get somebody on the phone and you're live with them, we'll try to make the sound work no matter what, right? That's all that matters. We want to hear you live. Next time you get them live, baby. I love how Jack is in the comment section right now saying he feels like he's in the Matrix. The dude is literally an IT person. Come on, Jack. Let's go, son. Come on. Cool. Awesome, Braden. Thanks again for that. So again, the moral of the story here with Braden's called, if you're dialing somebody 100 different ways or times, I should say, but one specific way, right? Even if it's an omni-channel approach, if you're sending an email making a phone call, right? When you're doing these things, typically the message hasn't changed. It's, hey, I'm with this company and I'm trying to set an appointment with you. We have to remember that part of what it is that we're doing. We have to understand that at any point in time that our prospects get anywhere between 70 and like 100 calls a week in regards to outreach from salespeople. And that can be emails, it can be phone calls, it can be DMs. I mean, for me, y'all, it's like hundreds. I mean, let's just look real quick. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 missed calls today. It's 1:47 Eastern Standard Time. Just imagine what that'll look like by the end of the day, and think about the people that die non-traditionally, so after 5, right? That'll come in at some point as well too. So we have to be super cognizant of those things. We have to be super cognizant of the fact of the matter that I see Chris Watson's got some good music going on. We're gonna get you in the stream at some point, no matter what. Just even if you're not getting a call, because we just want to hear from you, bro. We just want to hear from you. So he's got somebody on the phone right now, actually, it looks like, or at least he's dialing into somebody right now. We could hear from the master himself any moment now. But let's go back to this radical education side. Let's talk about some of the folks, the individuals, I should say, that are doing these dials. The majority of them inside of the rebellion will start off their calls 2 different ways. One of them will be where they tell the person, hey, I know what you're expecting. And so they preemptively strike is the concept, where they set up an expectation, a better expectation. You're probably expecting me to say this, say that, ask for 15 minutes on your calendar. But this is what I'd actually like to accomplish with you today if you'll give me permission. Okay. That's one of the ways that a lot of the rebels call. Another is the simple and yet eloquent line of, can I reinvest 60 seconds back into your day? And you can pair that with a million different things. The best that I've found to be the best, and a lot of the students as well too, is to say, can I reinvest 60 seconds back into your day from all the bad sales pitches that you've gotten leading up to me? And if this one fails too, then you can hang up and add me to the pile, and I won't get any sleep tonight knowing that I failed. And empathy is what comes into play in that moment in most cases, but also there's a little bit of humor infused into that. It's all about the delivery. It's all about what makes you comfortable as well too as a rebel. It's a huge piece of the puzzle. So bigger picture perspective here on what it is that we're trying to do with people too. We're not just trying to sell people something. If we can build networks in these moments, right? If we can create alliances. Braden has one of the greatest stories right now inside of the rebellion of what the long game looks like in regards to radical education, where he sent the letter campaign actually to somebody inside of the organization that turned out to not to be the decision maker, but he loved the letter campaign and actually took the letters to the person that did make the decision, who consequently or subsequently spoke with Braden. And although he had a little bit of a project going on, there was still a reluctance, because listen, people need to feel some credibility before they let you in the door, or else what you did was just a gimmick. They need it to be nuanced. They need something more than just, hey, didn't that make you laugh? Don't you feel good? Right? They need to actually see the proof put in as well too. We have to always keep that in mind. So Braden spent the next several weeks basically earning this person's trust through the process. And is at a point now where this person is having regular conversations with him and just kind of shooting the breeze, hanging out, talking about things that we normally don't talk about because they're not business. Which, listen, y'all, my dad ran a business for 29 years. If you listen to me in a podcast or seen me live on stage, you've heard me tell the stories of 29 years of a successful business being built based around relationships. He had over 200 accounts that were with him and he was an SMB, y'all. He didn't have much more than 200. He maybe had 300 in total, right? But 200 of his accounts had been with him for over 20 years. That is dedication. That's also the focus on, again, the concept of what is it that we're really trying to build with people. So at the front end, we need to interrupt patterns, right? So we use interrupt marketing techniques or interrupt marketing talk tracks in the moment if you're on a dial. There's not much of a difference between the two, right? It's the same mindset for both, but there's a different delivery in one from the other. An experience, such as sending somebody a letter that looks like it's been burnt in a fire and telling them that there's kindling inside, and when they open it, that has burn marks all over it, smells like it just came out of a campfire, and has like a gritty feel to it. activates the senses, right? A phone call saying, hey, can I pitch you something, does not activate the senses. All that does is language processing center of the brain is all it activates, which tells us as humans whether or not, what is this? This is a cold call. And then we decide in that moment that yes, we do, or no, we don't want to speak to this person, right? In that moment. Just a quick heads up for the coaches and everybody that's listening inside of the Zoom and doing the dials. We got 10 minutes left on the live. We have officially, as of right now, we have one appointment booked that I know of. So the coaches will have to chime in if there's more than one appointment booked. But the key master has the tentative appointment booked as of right now, and is our outstanding winner with 9 minutes left to go in the stream. We allow the students to compete with the coaches, especially since the coaches are making dials too, in this moment so that they can win something. So right now we've got a winner that we'll bring in here when we get to the end of the stream. Give them some high fives, hear a couple words. But in the meantime, we're going to keep talking about interrupt marketing. Hey, y'all better be in there doing dials, by the way, too. I know y'all can hear me. Okay. I'm like your boss of the bullpen right now, like coming, like opening the door, like, hey, where's the activity at? I need like a bottle of scotch or something too. I got a green juice. Is that good? Is that like very boss of me? Let's see. Stephen Chase has something from the Weasel. What if I said, hey, Dale, this is the sales weasel? That's all you would really honestly have to say, Stephen. Like literally. You wouldn't have to say the other part. You're not going to like what I'm going to say, but this is a sales call. Listen, I don't have any problem with that talk track. This is what I need people to understand about it. What does that do in the moment? It's a very blatant statement, right? It's like very blunt and to the point, right? So it's just straight up like, hey, this is a sales weasel and you're not going to like this, but that's my real name. But this is a sales call, right? So when we tell somebody that, we're literally telling them we're calling you because we're trying to pitch you something. So from here on out, that has to be your nuance, right? I like relationship building personally. So I like to stay away from the sales call, but make my intentions very clear to the person on the other end. What's up, Steven? That's how I like to start every single one, by the way, and allow that person to respond back. Oh, here we go. We got Alex in the house. Oh, Alex, you're not in the StreamYard, bro, so no one can hear you. Yeah. Like, well, you got somebody on the phone, and then you got to come to the StreamYard. You got someone on the phone right now? I'll narrate this for everybody. Alex is asking this person, how are you? Oh, man, I wish you guys could hear this. This is so good. So everybody that can see this, Alex, you definitely want to hear. I'll do it myself for you so you can stay on the call. There we go. All right. So Alex is on this dial with this individual, and there's a little bit of a language barrier right now that he's struggling with, but he's doing a fantastic job of accommodating that and slowing himself down and continuing to ask the right questions. So Alex is selling a shop management software, so for auto repair shops, and this is like, Alex has been in sales for, I think he's been in the program through his company for about 3 months now. So he's doing his first ever cold calls, right? Like over the last couple of weeks. So he has just asked the prospect if he can come by and meet with him, and the prospect has agreed, given him an agreement to call him back later in the evening and set the appointment. It sounds like he's given him a time, all the information that's necessary. Big Chris. Guy's name is Big Chris. Awesome. That is good. So Alex didn't use any kind of interrupt role or marketing, but he used an interrupt talk track. So which is extremely important in these particular moments. Using those interrupt techniques like that inside of the talk tracks, and then also kind of rolling with the punches inside of it as well too. And he's gone. There, he's out. So he didn't set an appointment, so we're not going to give him a win on that one. But he got the prospect to give him a verbal to call back tonight, which is great. And again, Alex did a great job of using interrupt talk tracks throughout the process, which is what matters most inside of these moments, because it keeps people engaged on the phone with you. Looky here. We got him. He's on his way back. This is going to be so good. Let's make him squirm. Hey, man. So yeah, when you leave, you gotta leave and go back into a room. If you leave and you leave, then you're gone forever, bro. But don't worry. I got you. Just hit that button, just hit that join right there, and then you're good to rock and roll, bro. So yeah, we love our students. We love all of our students, even the ones that don't know how to work a Zoom very well. That's okay. So for the coaches, you got 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Tell your people. 3 minutes. 3 minutes until time is up and we declare a winner. Yeah, so we've been talking about a lot of good stuff so far. We got a lot of activity with the students. I can clearly see that they're making calls and that they're getting people on the line and getting them live. They're just not jumping into the StreamYard. They don't have to. It's just something that we've asked them to do. But we've got Joy, Jack, and Chris in the house on a coaching level with everybody doing their thing, kicking butt, taking names. And if you want to find out more about how you can be a part of live cold call session with the team, the Sales Weasel is always invited. Really, you got to get into our Slack, which is Sales Rebels on Slack, and then just hit us up, DM us. Typically we for this particular segment, we only let paying students and companies that are sponsoring students of the program come through and do the coaching with us, but we will allow you access to the actual calls if you want to see any of them broken down. And we will allow every once in a while someone like a Stephen Chase, Sales Weasel, to jump in here and show their grit, show off what they do, because Stephen is also a sales rebel, so we can let them. Yeah, listen, Heidi, my dog is a giant German Shepherd Rottweiler, and we don't tell her what to do. We don't let her in. We don't let her out. We don't talk to her, especially in moments like this. We just kind of let her do her thing because she's very scary. So, however, she is like the ultimate gatekeeper as well. So when people come to my front door, only the brave stick around. She's the sweetest dog you've ever met in your life, and so that really nothing can happen to you when you're with her. So it doesn't look like we got too much action happening in the rooms right now. I'm going to just check and see if anybody is hollering at me. Chris wanted me to bring him in. That was like way too long ago. I don't even see him anymore. It's like he's gone. Aaron got kicked out. There's so much drama happening behind the scenes, guys. It's amazing. So since we've only got a minute left, I just want to say thanks to everybody for showing up. We do this bi-weekly on Thursdays, same time, same place, 1:30 to 2 o'clock. Our calls go from 1 to 3, though, so the students and the coaches will be continuing to make the dials, have some fun, use our interrupt marketing tools, set more appointments, be sales rebels, and enjoy their lives. That's what it's all about, right? We are as salespeople, we are trying our best to just get by every day for the most part, right? Especially when we've just started in sales. And we find that these types of activities are very good for camaraderie and community building. And not just within one another inside of the rebellion and with students or people watching, but also with our prospects. This is not about, the Sales Rebellion is not about selling people stuff. It's about giving experiences. It's about radically educating. It's about sharing narratives. It's about something much bigger than just selling stuff. Stuff is cheap. Stuff is replaceable. We as humans, relationships and community is not. So that's a huge piece of the puzzle. Chris, you got something? You're gonna end us right now? You're gonna end this whole thing? I see you showing up. You want it? Yeah, hold up. Let me get Chris in here. You see it? Click it. All right, you're in the stream on the Vidyard or on the StreamYard, and then you're in the Zoom. So talk away.
Where do I need to unmute myself?
Mute yourself in the Zoom and keep yourself. You're good on the StreamYard.
Sick. Yeah.
Let's
so
go.
as I've been listening to you and thinking about the 4 conversations I've had in the last week, I think what we tend to do is when we get in that pressure situation of making the phone call, we revert back to our old ways. And if you think about a professional athlete, the reason why they're so good at taking the shot under pressure as a soccer player, I know Dale's a soccer guy, or as a baseball player, is because of the repetition that they continue to do. I'm gonna let Alex get in on this.
Yeah, the problem is that we can't hear him in the StreamYard, bro, because he's not on it. So
Cool.
So
Okay.
but you keep talking. I'm gonna turn his Zoom on though so I can hear him,
cool,
bro. Because if he
cool.
gets a win, we're going all in.
Yeah. So what I want anyone that's listening and watching this to understand is that you have continued to flex the muscle of the old way. You continue to flex the muscle of, hey, this is Chris with XYZ and we do ABC. You've got to start flexing that other muscle. You got to recognize they have a status quo story in their head. And the only way to disrupt that story is to give them a better story that makes them curious, a better story that they can latch on. And so as I continue to make these calls every Thursday, and I have these conversations with so many other salespeople, I think the thing that we forget is, look, you're feeling the juice right now. You're at cold call camp right now. You're feeling great. But when you leave here and you get back into the cold call, you're going to revert to the old way. So you've got to prepare. You've got to flex the muscle of making sure that you're fighting the status quo. And you have to know, what is the status quo of my buyer and my audience? And I would tell you that is the most valuable thing for me, for how long I've been calling, to not revert back to the old way and to make sure that I'm sitting right here and flexing that new muscle over and over. And there's going to be pain. There's going to be lactic acid. It's going to hurt some days, but I'm flexing it every day and getting better at it so that this becomes the subconscious moment that I revert back into.
Love it. That's really good feedback, bro. We're going to bring Greek in the room real quick. Let me unmute you here. Hold up, bud. All right. Mute yourself in the Zoom. You're good. Greek, you said one appointment?
Yeah, one appointment.
Cool. So Greek's our winner.
I did not come to play, I came to dominate. 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 I did not come to play, I came to dominate.
Let's go, son. Great job today, bro. So the calls are going to continue, obviously, on our end, but we just want to give you a little love, put you on the live. If you guys aren't familiar with Jordan Greek, check him out. And Greek, why don't you give a 30-second commercial to all the listeners right now? Tell them what you do.
Yeah, so I work in the multifamily rental industry, guys. And very simply put, we're transforming the industry. So security deposits, they're going extinct. So if you're a renter, rather than coming out of pocket several hundred or thousands of dollars to access a home, you can pay a small monthly fee instead and get into that home right then and there. So that's what we help operators and multifamily management companies do. Get more renters, baby.
Sick, bro. Cool. Great job, Greek. We appreciate your hard work. We love you, Rebel. And to everybody out there watching, thanks for tuning in today. We appreciate you being here very much. We'll see you again, same time, 2 weeks from now. Rebel cold calling. Find the Rebel Slack as soon as you can, because you want to get in there. Trust me. There's really good people in it. I'll leave you all with this.
So, can you come in? And so I went in. He's like, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. Anytime somebody comes in here to try to sell me something, I kick them out immediately. Today, I actually have time, so I'm gonna speak with you. You have something going with this crumpled letter. Like, this is really good material. It's really different. I love it. Like, I'm gonna tell you, if this was anything but advertising, I would buy it today.